man made. Why must I chase the cat?
Watch the little one. Good evening and welcome to Posse Presents. I am over the moon tonight to have with me my friends from Bikers Against Animal Cruelty. And look folks, I match. Isn't that exciting? I want to thank you guys all for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
And I just dropped my notes, which is really awesome. That's a great way to start the day. I have with me Mr. President Greg Belcher. Greg,
hi, how you doing?
thank you for coming on.
No problem.
Appreciate it. It's always
Anytime.
a pleasure.
Yeah, anytime.
Even if we don't see each other at my job anymore.
Yeah, true.
Behind us, we have Jay French. Jay, thank you so very much for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
I know you're back there somewhere. Les Archer. Les, thank you very much.
Nice to meet you.
And Jennifer French in the middle, the lovely young lady with the fancy shoes. Go ahead, do it.
I didn't want to knock the mic out.
I love her shoes. I want them. She's like, I never get to wear them anywhere, but I thought I'd wear them tonight, even if nobody saw them. So we're making sure everybody saw them. Maybe we'll try to post a picture later too, because I'm in love with these shoes. Anyway, Bikers Against Animal Cruelty. Let's talk about a little history for those who aren't familiar. Let's tell everybody what Bikers Against Animal Cruelty is all about.
So it's we've been around for 8 years, and we started back as a group of friends, 22 friends that started out having backyard parties to raise funds and donations for animals, and it grew from there. Now we're at around 50 members throughout the state of Connecticut. We have a couple members outside of Connecticut as well. We have one in Ohio, Illinois, North Carolina, and I believe Florida still.
So you don't have to be a Connecticut resident to be necessarily a part of the team.
Not necessarily. It's just easier if you're in Connecticut because you can at least come to the events and you can come to the meetings that we have as well. Being outside Connecticut is a little harder. You don't really have as much of a say, which is kind of stinks, but it's something that we can work around.
Now, did these members ever come to any events? Now I'm curious. You piqued my curiosity.
Sometimes, not always. We encourage them to come as much as possible. I mean, I know it's a distance for some of them to come, but whenever they can get there, we definitely appreciate having them.
And of course, as long as there's a motorcycle and an open road, it's a possibility, right?
Absolutely. You don't even have to own a motorcycle to be a part of us either.
And that was at one time that wasn't the case. You had to have a bike, I remember.
You had to have a bike, but at the time you weren't considered. You were more like a volunteer. Now we actually let non-riding members join because it's we just want people that are here for the animals and to ride and have a good time.
Sure. Why block somebody good intentions if just because they don't have a motorcycle?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was the thing that bummed me because when I first, became aware of you guys, which is probably not long after you started, I was like, oh, I want to join. And I was like, but I don't have a bike. So yeah, I whined a little bit, but
That's all right.
We're friends now. So
absolutely, yeah.
We've done a lot of events together, and it's all good.
A lot of good events too.
Yeah, a lot of good events.
Yep.
Exactly. Thank you, Debbie, for some of those.
Absolutely, Debbie's done a great job helping us along.
So I don't know. Do you want to take this moment to show the picture of your founding members?
Sure.
Zach, do you have the founding members? You'll find it. I neglected him to give him, the prompts for the pictures, but here we are.
No problem. So this is basically the group of the 22 of them. I know they're not all right there, but it's pretty much all of them that started it back in 2007. Many of them are kind of still around here and there, but some people get a little burnt out quick because of the work that we have to do, and it does take a lot of time and a lot of work. So.
Oh yeah. Anytime you pour yourself into something that's beyond your work and home life,
absolutely,
it can take a toll, and
yes.
I know firsthand from my work with the shelter, and God bless everybody who volunteers their time for the greater good.
Absolutely, we have a great group of people. It's like a nice close knit family.
Yeah. So. You guys all seem pretty tight, which is good. I mean, I've seen you guys at events and stuff, and you seem to be a well-oiled machine, and
we try.
Yeah, well, at least if you're not, it presents well.
It's true. It's behind the scenes. We're all
Yeah, you're all killing each other at every chance.
We all get along really well.
Yeah.
Except for that guy back there.
We'll take the camera back, Zach. Okay, so you guys do a lot of events, as we said, and tell us about some of the things that you do.
Basically what we do, we try to do like 5 or 6 events ourselves each year. Usually it starts out in the beginning of the year, like February-ish time frame. We do like a bowling event. And then we move in. We have a concert that we put on.
Woofstock.
Woofstock. We get a bunch of bands that come
I
around.
love that.
Yeah. Then we kind of go into the summertime and we do our motorcycle rally and pet adoption event, which will be happening this year, August 30th.
Which is next weekend.
Next weekend, yep. It's at P&A Park in Wallingford. We have 5 bands lined up to play who donated all their time. We have a bunch of food. Just a bunch of sheltered animals are coming for adoption. So
I saw you've got different rescue groups coming with their animals.
Yes, we have quite a few rescue groups coming. So it'd be just a bunch of different groups out there that we try to work with all year long.
Can we get the poster up, Zach? I know, I neglected you tonight. There was too much going on out here. So there we go. There's one of your posters, and it was only when I tried to look for it, I realized what your non-black.
Yeah.
There was a black one and a white one.
Yeah. We had
So-
to make a little bit of a change on the one from the all dark one to this one. We actually added the bands in and whatnot. Like I said, there was a bounce house for kids.
Uh-huh.
There'll also be a dunk tank, thanks to Les.
What do we get to dunk less?
Well, possibly. As long as it's warm out.
Well, it's August. I'm thinking it probably will be.
Amen.
There's a bike show and a car show too this year. That
Okay.
will be really exciting.
Yeah, that will be. I love both.
People's choice. So
Okay.
everybody can participate with that too.
Oh, that's awesome. So if someone wants to participate in that, should they show up a little early maybe?
They can show up at any time. Actually, the gates will pretty much open at 1. We'll be there before that, setting everything up. But when they show up, it's fine. We won't do the voting till the end. So if somebody does come a little bit late, we can still get them in there.
But they should be there until the end?
Yeah, you should try to stay till the end if possible. I mean, if not, if you win something, we will find a way to get your trophy to you.
Okay.
So
All
we
right.
don't wanna.
Just trying to put it all out there
Yeah,
for the people
absolutely.
who might not make it like right away or,
Right.
need to sleep in on a Sunday or whatever.
Can't sleep in on Sunday.
Well, some of us try, but it doesn't work too well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Remember, some of us are still going through life changes.
I hear that.
Yeah, right? So what else? We have bands up there.
Yeah, we have bands. The 5 bands. There's Murray the Wheel. Honestly, I can't remember all the John Trago band. I think I pronounced John's last name right.
Yeah, it's
Close?
Twigo Band, yeah.
Okay. Head Wrench. And honestly, I feel horrible. I can't remember the rest of them. I digress. You want to do the other one? The last one?
Yeah, it's all up on the screen
Yeah,
just
it
because
is
Greg
on the
doesn't
screen.
remember. It's all good.
I do apologize to the bands for not remembering everybody's name.
It's the lights. They fry your brain.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah, the lights in here are really bright. So anyway, that's the poster that's out. It's your 8th annual,
Yep.
which is pretty awesome. To be doing something for 8 years like that, it's got to be a lot of work. Zach, we'll take the camera back. So if someone wanted to come and be a vendor, is there still time to do that, or is that closed at this point in
No.
case anybody's watching and wants to get in on it?
It's not closed. We try to get everybody done before the week before. But if we get last minute people showing up at the gate who want to be a vendor, we'll definitely accommodate them to the
Okay.
best of our ability.
That's always good to know because you don't want to leave anybody out.
No,
who
not at all.
May have kind of like missed the boat and been like, oh my God, that was this weekend. I was going to do that.
Yeah. True.
So what else? What else do we do at the rally? Pet adoptions.
There'll be
we
pet
have the-
adoptions. Like I said, there will be.
How many rescue groups do you have? Do you think?
Off the top of my head, I think there's roughly 30 groups as vendors as of right now. Not all are rescues. There's a couple that are non-rescue related. There are people like selling jewelry, or I think one was a candle person, stuff like that. So we try to have an array of everything.
So if you're looking for a new best friend, you might just be able to come out and find one next week.
Absolutely.
And that's always a beautiful thing because, adoption is the way to go.
Yes. Yeah, we don't have anything to do with the actual adoption process. That's going
No.
to be on the rescues
Yep,
themselves.
exactly.
But, if we can help them showcase what they have, then that's the best part of it.
Yeah, well, because, really exposure is key.
Absolutely.
And without the exposure, too many pets don't move, and this is that slow time of year as well.
Absolutely, yep.
People think that they want to have their summer, and they don't want to commit to a new pet. And maybe now that school's starting and things are winding down, adoptions will pick up, and
Hopefully.
somebody will find, like I said, their new best friend at your event.
I hope so.
And that would be good.
I know we've had a couple success stories lately. or a couple years ago, we had one that somebody got a pet, and they still have them today. They love her. So
Yeah, at one of your events then.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
see, so that's a beautiful thing. And I really promise this year I'm gonna come.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
You know what? I've had obstacles, you know, between a vehicle that wouldn't get out of its own way and et cetera and so on, but you know, I think I'm good. So
Okay.
you'll see me definitely next weekend.
All right.
I swear, which is honor.
Okay.
So I don't know, where do you want to go from here? Do you want to talk about how you got involved?
You can do
And
that
everybody
too,
can
then
go
we'll-
around
yeah,
and
people
talk about what, you know.
Yeah, actually, it was. I kind of started hanging around, not hanging around, but coming to their events probably 2012, and
You were a groupie.
yeah, I kind of fell in love with it. I love the fact that you can, you know, help animals and ride your motorcycle at the same time. So I decided to become a member. Our original founders, Cindy and Vijay, stepped down from being, you know, a lot of just burnt out and whatnot, and they asked if I would be interested in stepping up, and I said absolutely. It's kind of where we are today.
Yeah,
So-
and I remember when the first time I met you was at my job, and you came in and you had your sweatshirt on, and I'm like, oh, are you a member? And you know, I had been trying to like meet somebody and like try to get somebody on the show and stuff, and just like work with you guys somehow for the longest, and you were like, I'm the new vice president. I was like, score!
Yeah, reeled me right in.
Yeah, I did. I'm like, oh, really? Well, hi. And here we are now, the second visit on the show. It's great. So who wants
And he's president now.
Yeah,
nice.
and he's
Yeah, I
president.
stepped up again.
Yep, you stepped up again, which, you know, congratulations, of course. And, you know, it's a beautiful thing. I think that you're going to take the group in some great places.
I hope to get a good group of people behind us, so everybody works their butt off to make sure it gets done. So can't ask for anything more than that.
Yep, you're only as good as the people who are helping, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yep, I know.
So.
So who wants to go next?
Jay.
Well,
You're
Okay.
just like trying to avoid it at all costs.
No, he's
so I knew Greg anyway, and when he got involved in this group, he kept talking about all the stuff that they were doing, and it just was really amazing. And I was like, well, can I join? I mean, I didn't consider myself a biker per se, even though I had a motorcycle. But he was like, yeah. So I went to a couple of the events that they had. The people were just awesome, and the message was really great. So I applied, got in, and that was that. So it's really just working with the animals and people. It's really great. I definitely recommend it. If anybody wanted to join, don't just sit there, come and join, and you won't forget it. You won't ever forget it.
Yeah, get up and do something, right?
Yeah, don't talk about it. Just
right.
do it.
Just do it. Amen.
Yep.
And Jennifer.
Well, I got involved shortly after Jay had joined, and we've been doing different things with different sorts of volunteer and rescue organizations, but this one really does what it sets out to do, and I think makes a huge difference, and everybody's really serious about it, and I liked the mission, the people, and it's not an easy thing when people talk about animal cruelty, but the people who do this are incredible, and I think
And you have
that's
to
what's
include yourself in that.
She
I
should.
think
That
that's-
makes you incredible too, you know, by association.
and I don't think anybody really sees it that way, but as a whole, it makes such a difference, and it was important for me to be part of something that I felt really had an impact. So that's why I joined.
And good for you.
And I don't have a bike.
Well,
I'm just a rider.
that's okay,
But
right?
you can
That's
still,
okay,
anybody can still join. You don't have to have your own motorcycle.
Just to throw one more thing in, Jen is actually our membership coordinator now.
Okay, oh, good
so
for you.
she's definitely helping us get more members all along. And Jay is actually our website designer and helps
Okay.
update the website, our Facebook page, and all that. He's doing a great job.
Yeah, the
Which is-
webpage address is
BikersAgainstAnimalCruelty.org.
Something you can be proud of, right? It's all yours.
Yeah,
and they
it's
can
definitely
also
nice.
do an application online too, right?
Yep, download application. You can get to our Facebook page, which is updated regularly with all the events that we have, and absolutely.
Good.
Les.
Well, mine's not quite as a fascinating story. I started my own animal welfare group and I came to a meeting, to B.A.A.C meeting. I wanted to see how B.A.A.C ran and what their protocols were. So just sitting in listening to a meeting, I just felt this immense feeling of a bond. In the room of 35 or 40 people, I was amazed at the level of caring all the way around. So me being me, I decided I needed to be part of this, and you know, here I am. It's been about 1.5 years now. That's all. I think I'm the newest one here in this group, and I just love this group. I love this group, what they do. I love what we do. I love what we stand for. Just everything about this group is magnificent, and I can't speak high enough of them.
Good for you. And what is, besides being the dunk tank guy, what else do you do for the organization?
I'm titleless.
You're titleless.
Yep,
Okay.
I'm
I just
titleless.
don't want to overlook you.
No,
in
not by
case,
any
you
means.
know, we
Just-
backtrack, so I don't want to overlook you.
No, I'm just one of the guys that like to come along and help out.
And you know something? We all need those guys.
Yes, absolutely.
We-
Actually, Les has a lot of stuff that he helps us with, though. He is an ACO, which is Animal Control Officer. So anytime
Are
you
you
have
really?
any question that pertains to that, Les is our go-to guy.
Well, that's kind of a good guy to have in your corner,
Absolutely.
especially when you're dealing with sometimes some not so pretty situations, and your heart overrides your head,
Sure.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
you have to be careful to maintain the law.
We always do. We definitely, when people have questions and comments on or asking us things, we definitely say the first response is actually go to your local animal control officer and start there. We as a group don't go and
You don't go
we don't go
rip
above the
people's
law.
dogs out of their yards.
That's not how it's
and-
supposed
yeah,
to be done.
no.
So we follow
As
the way
much
the
as
law
we
is
would
written.
like to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no doubt.
absolutely.
Yeah, I
You know.
have. I have neighbors. I have neighbors.
We'll talk after the show.
Yeah. Little dogs out on the deck 24/7.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No.
And we help, just on a side note, all animals. It's not limited only to dogs or cats, horses. I think we help the sea lion at Mystic. I
Yep.
mean, we really
Yes. we do.
are trying to help any animal that is in need, that's ownerless and has nobody else to sort of step up for them.
Let's get up the logo, Zach, because even in the logo you've got the paw, the horseshoe, the little bird print.
Yep, absolutely.
And so that's just trying to send out that message that it's not just about dogs and cats.
Absolutely. It's any animal that is involved in any sort of abuse, neglect that is ownerless or in going into a rescue or at a local pound. You know, we also, to be honest, we actually helped a pig that fell off a slaughter truck in Connecticut, who is now.
I think I read about
Yeah,
the
he's now up at a
pig.
farm. I think I want to say New York, but I might be wrong on that. But I know he's living pretty good right now.
Well,
Now, did
He's
he
living high
fall
on the
off or
hog.
did he jump off?
He might have jumped
I
off.
think there
He
was
might have
some
jumped off to get out of there.
speculation.
Yeah.
You know?
I really do
Making
think I
an
remember
escape.
reading there was speculation at the time as to
Yeah.
whether he fell off or he kind of knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, I didn't realize you guys stepped up, so that's really pretty cool. All right, we'll take the camera back again, Zach. And there were some other pictures of some other events that you have some group shots.
Okay.
Zach, you have a couple other pictures there for me. Poor Zach, I left him without. There's like some group pictures other than the first one.
Okay. Yeah, this
There
is
you
actually
go.
this is actually our group shot of the rodeo last year. We always try to take a group shot before every big event that we do, just so we have everybody in it. We have it put on our Facebook page and the website as well. Unfortunately, some of our members didn't make it into the picture this time because they were helping a vendor that came in a little late. But we always try to get everybody involved in it. Like I said, that was the rally last year that we had. It was a pretty good turnout, and despite the rain, it was a little.
Yeah, you guys got
Yeah.
pounded last year at
Yeah.
one point, didn't you?
Yeah, it rained
Pounded.
bad right near the end. Yeah.
I caught that.
It's an
Hounded.
understatement.
No, I do. I remember the day
Yeah.
because I remember like I was trying to come
Yep.
and be there, and
Yeah, it
then
was
being
raining hard.
forward, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, it does stink when you have an event outside and you kind of need a good day and it rains. You're just like, well, that's not fun.
But
Yeah.
the band still went on.
The band
Yeah.
still went on and played.
Still-
Yeah,
everyone
absolutely.
still had a great
Wrestlers
time.
wrestled.
The wrestlers
Wrestlers
last year,
wrestled,
Yeah.
yeah.
Didn't you have Bull Dread there last year?
Yeah, last year Bull Dread was
Yeah.
there.
John, Bull Dread was at at this event last year.
Yeah, he was there.
Bull Dread's been on Speedo's show any
no
number
kidding.
of times. They're good friends.
Awesome guy. Awesome
Yeah.
guy, yeah. He was
So
really cool.
if you're watching, hey, Bull. We have another group shot like that, Zach. I know I totally let this kid go.
Yes, this is a thing that we do in November, right after Thanksgiving. We do pictures with Santa for anybody to bring their pet in. And again, any pets are welcome, to bring on in. And
So if somebody wanted to bring that pig back and have a picture with
absolutely,
Santa,
I'd love to
Sure.
have a picture with Santa with the pig. That'd be cool.
That would be awesome.
that'd be awesome.
Yep. So that's one of the events that we do as well. That's a lot
Now
of
is
fun.
Santa on a motorcycle?
Yes, actually, you can kind of just see the tank up there in the picture. It's
Yeah,
like red
yeah.
and gold.
Yep.
Yep. Santa will be sitting on a Harley, and you get your picture. The dog gets a picture, or cat, whatever somebody brings in. So I think the strangest pet that I've seen in a few years that I've been there is a snake. Was actually one of the ones that were a little different.
A little off.
Yeah, yeah.
Not so strange though, because
No.
those people who have like the snakes like bring them everywhere.
Yeah. As long as they bring them out on a warm day, though. I know snakes like to be warm, so kind of bringing them out in the end of November might be a little cold for them.
Unless you make some provisions for that in
Absolutely.
between, you
Yep.
know. It's kind of like bringing birds places.
Yes.
It's
yeah.
not cool when it's cool.
No. Yeah. There you go.
Is there one more, if I remember correctly? Poor Zach.
This is a picture of some of the original members, again, from one of the rallies that we did years back. You can see our two founders are actually the two people sitting on the bike. There's Sydney on the, I think would be the right of the screen, and VJ, who is right in the center. They're the actual kind of people that started it, along with all their friends. So, we still have contact with them and, let them know what's happening. So.
How many of your original members do you still have?
Right now, I think there's a couple. Like I said, people do get burnt out. It does get very tiresome trying to balance your life in this. I mean, it does kind of take on almost like 2 40-hour week jobs. So
Yep.
It's sad to see that they're not right here with us. But like I said, they know that we're still doing good and whatnot. And I talked to Cindy and VJ a few times and told them that I would do my best to make sure this keeps going forward the way they meant it to. So.
Awesome. We'll take the camera back, Zach. Okay. So, if someone is interested in becoming a member, what would they have to do? You gave out the website. Let's do that again.
BikersAgainstAnimalCruelty.org.
And you mentioned that the application is right
Bottom
on-
right hand side of the screen.
And what is the application process?
The process is you fill out the application. There's we do a background check on it to make sure that there's no animal cruelty in anybody's past, because that would not be cool.
Yeah, that
So-
would be just not good.
It usually takes a couple weeks depending on how quick the background check comes back. Once they come back and the background check is good, I send off the information to Jen, and Jen will get a membership packet together. You'll get your member T-shirt, a small 4-inch patch, and you're able to start coming to events
Awesome.
as a member. You
As
can
a
always
member.
come. You
You
can always come to
the
events.
events.
Yes.
And you can always sport your support back shirt.
Absolutely, yep.
Because that's the difference.
Yes.
Mine says support, and theirs just says the real stuff. But
Yep.
it's all good. At least mine has the new saying on the back.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Yep, because I had a choice. Greg was my personal shopper.
Yeah. I got a phone call. I need a T-shirt. Would you be able to get one? Absolutely, I can bring you a shirt.
Yeah,
What do
put
you
it to me
need?
right at work, no problem. Which one do you want? He sends me pictures of the of what it says on the back. Now I want the new one.
Yep.
So if someone has some cruelty, some neglect, some abuse that they want to report, can they contact you? What can you do to help?
They can't contact us, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to give them the information to try to contact their local ACO. If there's something that I might have another question, I can always ask Les. He's been helpful a lot and stuff like that. But we definitely try to encourage people to do that, to go through the right channels.
A lot of times somebody will be afraid to make a contact.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or their fear of retaliation.
Exactly.
Or just anything, just they don't want to start a neighbor dispute.
Right, but if you see
If they have to
something-
contact us as a group, we'll make sure somehow the information goes to where it needs to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you'll facilitate it if somebody
Absolutely.
doesn't want to be
Yeah,
known as
absolutely.
the rat
Yeah.
or the snitch or whatever the
Yeah.
case may be.
Yeah, because we don't want to. I mean, we definitely try to let them know. I mean, so we get calls from all over Connecticut, or not even calls, just email, and people asking us about certain questions, and most of them we just try to walk them through that way. I actually had a call from a woman in, I think it was Oregon or Washington, and she's like, I see all this so much negative stuff on Facebook, and I probably talked to her for a good 40 minutes to try to just encourage her that just some of the stuff you do see on Facebook is made up, some of it's not, and she was very, very happy, and she actually sent letters back a few times saying, thank you for the conversation. So sometimes just talking to people helps them.
Yep.
Yeah, and really the bottom line is if you see something, you really need to report it one way or another, because the animals just don't have a voice.
Absolutely.
Right.
And someone somewhere has to step up and do something to make the situation right, because no animal deserves to suffer.
No, not at all. I mean, I can't even imagine not feeding your animal or not taking to the vet for regular checkups. To me, my animals are my kids.
Yeah.
They don't want for anything. So.
And that's the way it should be. No animal should suffer being left outside, or getting beat for nothing, or being locked up in a room 24/7, or anything that just there are people who their pets are less of a family to them, which doesn't make it cruelty.
No, it's just.
But it's not what you and I would do.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
we try to
But
teach
there's
people,
that line where it's really cruelty and neglect.
Yeah, absolutely. And we try to tell people to get them to understand that the way they're caring for their pet is good, but there's always better.
Right.
We see people with the big prong collars on their dogs or big heavy chains, and we won't try to tell them you can't do it. We just try to say there's better ways to do it. I know.
Right.
Les was awesome at one of the pictures with Santa. A lady came in with a prong collar, if I'm not mistaken. And Les said, I can get your dog to walk without that. And she's like, no, you can. And the last, about not even 5 minutes, the dog was walking perfect without the collar.
Right.
So,
And then, of course, the sad part is you walk away, and a lot of times the owners.
She gave me the collar.
Yeah,
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she got
So I was going to say, a lot of times, people just go back to their old ways and enable bad
Right.
behavior.
Yes.
Right.
Anyway, we're out of time. Folks, thank you so much.
Thanks
We're
for
gonna-
having us.
We're going to say
Thank you.
goodnight my way, okay? So do like I do. Peace,
Peace.
love,
Love.
and dogs. Good night, everybody.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in